It's the evening of October 4, and we have progressed as far as getting block in. I'm standing at almost the property corner, which is that little, it's not really that hole right there, it's this bar right here. So if you notice, I've strung out the property line. The next phase of construction starts tomorrow. We're going to be excavating this and doing a little shape work on my neighbor's property so that we don't have a hump on this side. I'm lower than this hump is, so we're going to round it up a little bit and then cut the trench for where we're going to have this wall will continue down this way. And you can see I just have a little mock-up piece of a concrete block. That is about the height at which that corner column, pilaster, pillar, whatever you want to call it, that's where that's going. So we'll have a wall from here down to here into a column. There'll be a light on top, just like that one. And this is our gate column. It's a lot girthier, big. So pivoting to the left, at some point, I hope to have a curb that defines finished side, not finished side. This will always be rough looking like this. So I need a little balance between the finished side and the left side of our property. And I've always thought that putting some kind of curb and maybe even a little walkway up that way might be a pleasant way to go. I'm gonna have to have a column on the opposite side. I think that's 20 inches back from where the finished driveway is. This little curve is finished driveway, so I'll be another 20 inches back, and I think that may just give me enough room for a person gate to put here, and then I could probably put another, I don't know, we'll have to see how it goes. A lot of this, once I start construction, it just tells me what it wants to do. I can't really shape this wall. I know we had a preliminary shape, but until I got this finished wall height in place and I define how steep this wall right here is, I don't really want to dig this yet. So tomorrow morning we're going to get in with the excavator and shape this slope. Then we'll pull the property line again, and once I pull the property line, I can start getting an idea of what the shape of this wall that's right here is going to be. It may move to the right or it may go uphill a little bit. If you look faintly, you can see a string line right there. This wall that goes along this way has to be taller than the wall that's right here, because I want this stone wall to die into that wall. So anyway, that's why there's some geometry to solve. The shape of this curve looks really good. I'm very happy with how this turned out, and I think this is probably about the finished height of this column. It has to support a gate, and no problem with structurally. I've got lots of steel in the wall tying into here tying into the column. Up here, I've just cleaned all this dirt away. Oh, incidentally, this is box number 10. It is full, so I've called in for a replacement. But I excavated all the dirt. This was kind of like a storage area for dirt. I excavated that because once I don't know why I call this teardrop wall that's gonna go in this shape here. Once I excavate this, all this is gonna have to be dug out by hand. So I thought if I scrape it all out and get it out of the way, then I can reshape it, and we have a lot less work to do as far as getting crappy dirt out. So this wall is not completely glued together yet, very similar to like that column over here. I just needed a place to stack the block, so I cut the block so that it's ready for installation, set it in place. For here, I'm trying to get a visual of how this teardrop wall dies into here, and how this wall is going to continue, just a slice of it is going to continue up and around the corner. And I'm wondering here if it becomes walkway height, and then when I get to this intersection here, I'm not sure whether I want to step up. Oh, my hand gets in the way for focus. If I want to step up a little bit, so we have some type of ledge for this walkway that you can see on the back side. So not only do I have a slope that is running downhill a little bit. There is a little bit of a hump in, but it's not going to matter when we're all done, because the finish method for how this wall is finished goes as such. Once all the block gets installed, you can see the little step function that I got. Every 4 blocks, I step up another half a block until I get to here. We're gonna take a sheet of plywood on both sides and run it straight across. And if we wanna come up a little bit, we'll just raise the sheet of plywood just a little bit. We'll screw that straight to the block, and then we'll pour it. And so we'll have a nice straight line, a nice straight line. We'll have a nice clean curve for the height of the wall that we want, as well as the shape. The shape's already defined. We can take a look by looking down it. I don't know, it's a little hard with it being as jagged as it is. This is the finished height of this wall. It looks a little tall yet, but I haven't done any backfilling. I felt this way before. When we were doing the driveway in 2011, I was concerned that the wall was really high, and then I realized that, well, I've still got a foot of dirt to put back in here. So it's actually looking pretty good. I'll come around this back way behind this excavator. This is a column that matches my neighbor, so that if he wants, he can put in a gate. I gave him a piece of a conduit, and it runs over to that side, so if he wants to run lighting, he can. And it also gave me the opportunity to step down a little bit. I didn't want this wall to be so high. It doesn't look like a big deal from here, but on the other side, you got to remember, it's another 3 feet lower. So that would be a really big wall. So I'm stepping down there, then I step down in this direction. Notice that this is a full block right here, and that's a half block. I step down another 4 inches here, because I don't really want this wall too terribly tall as well on this side. Remember, this is the short side. When you look at it from the front of the driveway, you know, i.e. over here, this wall looks a lot taller. That's actually the reason that we ended up putting a second wall in place, is because of the differential height between here. You can see how fast that string line runs down. So in order to keep from having this huge tall wall, I'm planning on putting another little wall that dies into here, little curve. This one's going to be stone. This will be stucco that matches the wall up here. And so once it's full of dirt, this dirt will take up a couple blocks as far as height, so this wall won't look nearly as tall as it is right now. So realize it's a long catch-up video, but a lot of progress in this past week. So there we go.